Hello, everybody. You are listening to the Panther podcast, the roar of the valley and the pride of our people. I'm Leland White, and today with me is our co-host,
Adrian Hancock.
Lovely to have you for our very first episode of season 2 of the Panther podcast. We'll be talking about what it means to be a Panther. And as you listen in for the rest of our season, I want to keep this idea in your head because this is the essential question we want to ask yourself as you're listening. Once again, I'm Leland, and this is the Panther podcast. So the format of our episodes are going to be slightly different from our previous Panther podcast hosted last year by Jace Carson and Daisy Hardbarger.
Yes, so Daisy Hardbarger and Jace Carson, they had a pretty interesting approach to it where they got in a few hosts, guest speakers, and asked them some pretty basic questions. But I feel like one of the problems was he kept people within his friend group, if you've noticed that.
Okay,
So the goal is to answer this essential question of what it means to be a Panther, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to branch out, go into all different kinds of parts of our community, not even just within the school. We can go outside into the more community, like the Legion or people that work for the parks or the fire department.
Absolutely.
For the future, though, the format's going to look like me and Leland as your host for the episodes, one of us taking charge on each other one, vice versa, and then bringing in a guest to speak about what it means to truly be a Panther in our great and loving community, because it is nothing less than amazing.
Now, I love the Panther podcast last year. You know, Daisy, one of my good friends, Jace Carson, super cool kid, but it was pretty basic. It felt like they kept it really personal, but with this, like, what does it really mean to be a Panther? Like, we're expanding everywhere, really, which really makes it a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that they had a great start to the Panther podcast,
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So that's why I think it's not a bad idea to call this season 2 of the Panther podcast.
Yep.
Because it was amazing. I loved it.
Absolutely.
I listened to it, each episode. So I think it doesn't go bad to say that this is season 2 of this amazing podcast that we started.
No, absolutely not. And also with this, since we're starting a little bit earlier than they did, we'll have more time to get a lot more people, a lot of diversity onto the podcast. I think it's gonna be amazing. This is gonna be so much fun.
I'm excited too. I have been dreaming of this for a little while since it started. I wanted to be on a guest part of the season 1 Panther podcast, and I unfortunately didn't get on, so I got jealous.
That's all right.
So
now you're the host.
Yeah, now I'm the host. It's amazing. But really, this all started from a vision board I made a few months back about my senior year, right?
Absolutely.
Because we're both seniors, so we understand that this graduation date is coming faster than usual.
Yeah, this year's been quick.
Yeah, it has. So I made a list of things I want to do during my senior year, which is a ton of amazing things on there, like writing an entire play, writing a book, reading more, and starting a podcast.
100%. You couldn't put it any better.
And this was the greatest thing to happen to me. So in journey to college, we've also made another vision board. So I know that you've made your own and you have your own goals on there.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about them?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been accepted into Salem State University. This is in Salem, Massachusetts. I plan on going there to be a history teacher. And then while I'm in college, or maybe a little bit out of college, I plan on going into ministry. So preaching, stuff like that. But how I plan on getting there is I plan on like saving and working as hard as possible, but also just trying to make this year as fun as possible. Like truly connecting with people on so many levels, being in my community, not only at Valley, but also with my church, like just trying to make this senior year go out with a bang, really.
Yeah, I think that was well said. While we're on the topic of our plans for the future, I plan on enlisting into the Air Force and following my father's footsteps of becoming one of the highest ranking officers there is. He was a enlisted 11 in E11, making him a chief master sergeant, which is the highest an enlisted soldier can get. And I plan on starting up ahead of that and being a lieutenant going in.
Wow.
I plan on going to law, going to be a paralegal for a while until I can eventually get my law degree and become a JAG officer.
Heck yeah.
So from here on out, someone is going to inherit this podcast. We
Yeah.
want more seasons of this, right?
Absolutely.
So while we're talking about it, we're on the lookout for people that fit the persona of entertaining and people that you'd want to listen to.
Exactly.
So we'll keep looking for preferably juniors would be a better idea because they get to share the experience we have of this is our last year. Let's make this count.
Absolutely.
Right? We don't want anyone feeling like, okay, this is just something I got pulled into. We don't want that. We want this to be a very meaningful thing, a very, very well thought process here, which is how long it took us to get into this. For
Also like a tradition, really.
Yeah, keeping it as a tradition.
Like, granted, now Jace Carson and Daisy didn't pass this down to us. This was kind of our idea, but we plan on starting something where we do pass it down to where it does feel personal. Like, oh, he wanted me to be the host of the Panther podcast. Sign me up.
Oh yeah. I think that making this season more personal is definitely something that'll help with it, with giving the audience something that they can think back on and reflect on their own, right? So whenever we tell you guys about our future, we want you to be thinking the same thing. You don't even have to just be in high school. You could be a full-blown adult with a job and still think of all the great things that you can achieve.
Exactly.
And I think we reflected it well. But the real reason why you should listen to the podcast is because we tell you what it means to be a Panther in the Panther Pride community.
Absolutely.
Because we live in the greatest valley that I've ever seen. I've moved many states and have been to lots of communities and lots of other schools. And I can promisingly say that this is one of the best communities I've ever been granted to live in.
Absolutely. I'm same here. Now you were out of state and then you kind of went to what, Licking Heights?
Yes, I came from Licking Heights too here.
Yeah. I was all over Ohio. I was in Dayton for a while. I went to Utica for a while, and then I came to Valley, and this is just one of the best places I can be.
Yeah. Before Heights, I was living in, I think that'd be Oklahoma. I lived in Oklahoma for a little bit while my parents were furthering their education. Before that, I lived in North Dakota and got to go to school on a military base and live on a military base, which was quite an amazing few years.
Oh yeah.
I have a vivid memory of one day the snow going up to like the top of our doors because they had a snow plow that pushed all the snow into the corner of the roads.
Oh no.
And our door is right there, and they covered it up with snow, and it was so fun though, being a little kid and climbing over all that snow. And then when coming home later after school, my mom cleared it all out, made a little snow doorway to walk into the house, and it was such a childhood memory I loved. But before that, I was born in Oklahoma and stayed there for a little bit, but not short after that's when I got to go to North Dakota.
I also think like this podcast can be just a really amazing way to teach younger students. Like we're seniors. We've only been through one more year of life, but we all come from different experiences and different, forms of life. So it is always good to have like a teacher there.
Yeah.
So this is what we do plan on it being is like, hey, go to Journey to College. It's super helpful. Like the scholarships that you apply for, the class just in general, like that's kind of how I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah, I definitely say one of the biggest targets for this episode would be students in high school, just like us. People with big dreams, I definitely say that too. People that really want to make sure that their future is going to be all right.
Yeah, just A-okay.
That's what the goal of this episode specifically. This is our pilot episode, which will be labeled as that later. And you'll find it on, hopefully, YouTube and or Spotify.
Yeah, one of them.
One or the other.
We'll get it out there eventually.
Oh, yeah. Well, either way, we want you all to be able to listen whenever you need to,
Mhm.
whenever you can, for however long you want.
Whenever, whoever, wherever.
Oh yeah. Well, the next thing that we would talk about is sports or anything happening in the community, right?
Yeah.
So in the future, we can get into contact with other people and we can have some, I guess, sponsors would be the way to say it.
Okay.
People that want to say, hey, I know that since I've volunteered at the American Legion,
Yeah.
they have fish fries and karaoke nights. And if they want, I could mention them up here and basically give them a shout out
Yeah.
so our community can go check them out and support our veterans.
Absolutely. Basketball games as well, like
Yep, sports.
recent scores, our records, stuff like that. Now, granted, this is our pilot episode, so we're still figuring things out. You know, everything's new, but that's what we'll talk about. Is it'll kind of be like the announcements, but just longer. Like, you know, this person scored this many points. This person did this. But that's kind of how our sports segment would go. Just talk about scores, records, all that fun jazz.
Oh yeah. Well said. Well said. If anyone could tell, I'm in charge of the soundboard over here. I have had a lot of fun with it. But the sports section / upcoming events, we want that to be a way of people's way of receiving the news of our community.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
with any new, even mechanical improvements or home improvements, right? So like the board, we can get in contact with the board and they can keep us updated on anything big happening. Like I've heard rumors of an apartment being built in the giant farmland next to the intermediate school
Okay.
or churches or something like
Yeah,
that.
I've heard church for a while.
for sure. So we plan on giving you all that information to give you something else to benefit from. Something you say, oh yeah, I remember hearing from the Panther podcast that they're gonna put this and this there and there.
Yeah.
That's the goal. We want people to think of the Panther podcast as any different types of not just entertainment, but even ways of releasing information. I think that's an amazing thing to have as it's just a media is to be able to have that effect
Absolutely.
on a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because we're coming close to time here, I would explain to you all how our upcoming guest, which we will have in the future, will work. So we will bring one or two people here, either by audience choice, because we may give you all a form to fill out if there's anyone in the school you want to see,
Yeah.
or we will go out and look for someone in the community to give their feedback of our community and what they do for either their organization or how they feel as a person. So a great example I can think of right now is it'd be awesome to have Deputy Brailer in here.
That would be super cool.
The guy's awesome. He's so chill. I remember driving out in around Newark and a cop car right next to me. And I think it was Deputy Brailer right next to me. And I was so scared. I get scared. I know I'm not doing anything wrong, but just the cops being there scare me and want to make me want.
Yeah. Start shaking.
I'm scared to get pulled over, right?
Fair.
Because I told my parents that I will never get pulled over like you did in your teen years.
Oh, stop talking.
Not
All right.
ever. So I had to make sure that I just am safe, a safe driver, and stay clear of unsafe roads like we all should in this upcoming amazing weather that we're having.
Oh yeah, 6 inches of snow, ice,
Negative
everywhere.
degrees. Oh yeah, I am
Oh dear.
not excited for it at all. My car doesn't work. My car just straight doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't turn on. I have to wiggle the battery into place so it runs. It's
Oh my gosh.
terrible. But
Yeah.
guest coming in, we plan on experiencing all different parts of the community and giving you all that feedback of we have found out what it means to really be a part of this amazing community of what it means to be a Panther.
Hopefully by then, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's about time. I hope that you all enjoy this. That is also the time. So, Lila, if you please want to end this out for us.
I hope we all look forward to the Panther podcast. This is a new format that we've introduced. In the Panther podcast, team wishes you a clawsome day. Have a good day, everybody, and make sure you're paying attention in class.
That is so loud. Oh my god.
Put that as BTS.
How are you two?